All right. We've been trying to figure out exactly how we want to address today's topic, and it's essentially keeping the faith.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that can make you want to lose faith. But in the Bible, there's been great references of how to keep faith, and people have been tested, and we've been tested in our own lives a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you out there have been tested. But today we're going to address how you keep the faith. Because a lot of people want to go like, oh, we're losing faith. America's losing this. It's like, no. You got to look at it from a positive perspective. How can we keep the faith?
Yeah,
How can we keep everything America was built on?
Yeah, and also, a lot of times it's always darkest before the dawn.
That's right. Was that from Batman?
I'm Batman.
You can always count on Jarrett to give you a nice Batman reference.
But it's true, though. Like, things, honestly, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before they get better. And you were talking about America and stuff. I feel like that's happened a lot. And the Bible is just full of stories of nations and people that have hit rock bottom before they decided to come back to God or to turn to God to get back from their ways, from the bad things that they've done, the bad things that have happened.
Even in our own country, we've had those moments in the short 250 years we've been here almost. And it is amazing that every time you kind of go back, it's like when we've had those moments, you saw faith had made its way back into people, or people, they've kept the faith, and that faith got them through things. And like we're reading, like I got me on a great book right now about American history, but it had that golden thread with Christianity and our founding, and you can already attest that even before we declared independence, we had a lot of that going on here. When we were technically a nation of a colony or whatever of Britain. But this week, there's a lot that's happened. There's been a lot of news. And that's why it's time for
News with Jarrett. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what it's called now. News with Jarrett.
News with Jarrett. What do you got for us this week?
I'm going to say congratulations to the Chiefs winning the
Congrats
Super Bowl.
on their third one in 5 years?
Third one in 5 years, yeah. I heard that nobody has ever won 3 in a row Super Bowls. I heard that this morning.
Yeah, because the Patriots, they won 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
No one's ever won 3. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, see if they can do it.
All right. The Bulls did it in the 90s.
Yeah, they did it twice.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot harder when you have to, which football is a lot different, but in basketball and baseball, you play a 7-game series.
Yeah.
I think that's a little more difficult because you have to beat a team over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. You have to beat them 4 times, and that's hard to beat somebody.
Oh, yeah. Who's the other? Oh, Lakers. Did they have a 3-peat? Kobe and Shaq,
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
In 2000s,
yeah,
maybe.
They did have a 3-peat, and the Spurs got close a couple times, but...
Timmy D and Tony Parker.
Manu Ginobili.
Yeah. Those are some good teams.
That's like when the NBA was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I know. I used to love... I keep up with the Thunder a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't really watch any.
And the Thunder are going to be... They're the number 1 team in the West still, right?
No, they dropped to like 5th or something now. Second? It's been literally like the top 5 teams are just...
Yeah,
a half game apart.
That's how
I
much
just keep up with the standings.
That's how much I know though about the NBA.
Yeah.
But the NFL just crowned their newly champion, the Chiefs, and I mean, good for them.
Yeah. Then we also have to mention about what happened.
Oh, the parade that happened yesterday, right?
And we just want to have our prayers out there for all those involved. We don't know much about what's happened so far, but we're praying for everybody that was hurt and anybody that was involved with that.
Just sad that has to happen at a joyous celebration.
Yeah.
It's also a reflection of where we're at as a society. It's like you can't even go to these places because of that, and that's just where the people, people are so far removed from principles.
Yeah, like what has happened to our society, like to the people in general, like to their mindsets that they think that you can do like something like that could happen at like such a nice celebration.
Yeah. And again, when you see who was involved in it, it's just a reflection of where we're at.
Yeah.
It's like people who are misguided, people who have not had probably good fathers in their lives. We mention that all the time. And some
family structures that really are your foundation. Having Christ, even if you don't have religion, you could at least have family to guide you while you're young. So when you're older, you don't end up mixed up in the wrong things.
But usually those two are like similar to the golden thread. They're very cohesive, like faith and family, which we're always promoting, or why you wouldn't have those things. Like how many times in our lives, we're in a very rural area, how many times in our lives can we say we've witnessed somebody doing something out like that and then breaking laws and using things that are unalienable, are part of our amendment rights to use those in negative ways.
I can only think of once. There was a guy live streaming on Facebook, running from the cops a few years ago.
Was it? But
shooting at people on I-40. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen one in 30 years?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, in 30 years, and that's something more modern.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are we here today when we weren't there?
And I mean, and just that guy, an example, I'm sure his morals weren't correct.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have his moral compass pointed north.
Yeah.
Obviously, to be doing something like that.
But the sad deal, again, we're praying for everybody involved, and I hate when people go, "Oh, your prayers and sympathy ain't working."
That's all we can do.
That's all you can do when it comes to this. It's part of keeping the faith thing that we're talking about here.
Yeah. On to our next headline, and we're going to get kind of in the political sector here, and something we make a lot of videos about, our southern border. Well, one of the people involved with securing our southern border is the Secretary of Homeland Security, pretty sure. His name's Alejandro Mayorkas. The House impeached him this week. Now, it's not going to go anywhere. Senate is not going to vote on it. I'm sure that's what happens. But I think at least it brings to the forefront, you know, not the person, but one of the people who is responsible for the, honestly, chaos that's going on at our border.
Yeah.
It's something that we talk about a lot in our videos with our fences and stuff.
You're talking about Weepy Mo?
The Commissioner Weepy Mo knows we're Hump supporters.
Yeah, Weepy Mo.
The county commissioner keeps cutting our fence lines.
The dang county commissioner keeps coming in.
Granny's getting very fired up about it too, you know.
Hand me my hot shot, Bart.
We've been working on it though. We've been building that.
Yeah, that really tall.
Really tall.
If we had fences that big, we would never have to worry about the county commissioner coming in and cutting them.
Yeah, the county would then be like, "Oh, they'll dig under, or they'll fly over."
We'll get alligators.
We're gonna get a moat.
Yeah, we're gonna get a moat and alligators.
And we're gonna have like the Star Wars defense system.
Yeah, laser beams. Just saying, that's probably not gonna go anywhere, but it's something that's
big in the news. Yeah, and hopefully we get some stuff resolved there here soon.
And another thing in the same realm is, so I guess the Senate passed the bill to send $95 billion in foreign aid and stuff. But the House said that they're not going to take it up. Yeah. And honestly, you may be in support of some stuff like that, but personally, I'm not. I don't think we should be sending all of our hard-earned tax dollars to other countries while we're still hurting here at home. We still have veterans on the streets. We still have just drug addicts everywhere and stuff. Why should we be sending all of our money that we worked for to another country when we still have so many problems right here in our backyard?
I'm right there with you. And someone made a funny point the other day about, you know, I think it's the guy, date right stuff. That guy. He's like, why don't we rename California, rename California to Arizona, Ukraine, and Texas, Israel, and we'll end up funding ourselves.
Yeah, we just send our money to ourselves, yeah. $95 billion could go a long way if it was used right.
$95 billion. Like,
I can't even
comprehend that. But yet we're handing that off. That's only this time around that they were trying to do it. But before, we've already sent $300 billion or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if they need more, they'll just come up with an
But I'm sure there'll be some of you out there who are like, but that's what we got to do. That's what you as Christians should do with tithing and all that. And all. It's like, but no, we trust that the church, we trust that the people who are in charge of running these institutions that we are involved with would not go to other churches and give away our money.
Yeah, I heard a really good example the other day. It's like, say you and your wife have $10,000 in your bank account, and your friend comes up to you, and you have your bills to pay, and you want to send your kids to school and stuff, and so you're having to spend that money on stuff. Your friend comes up to you, hey, I need $5,000 for something going on over here in my life. And you go to your wife and say, hey, I'm going to give my friend that $5,000. And she says, well, we needed that money to go to our kids for stuff. Are you going to go against your wife and give that guy $5,000 out of your money that needs to go to your kids?
If you're married,
take care of your kids?
If you're a married man, the answer is no.
Yeah,
you do not want to. You're gonna lose that battle.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose that battle 9 times out of 9.
Well, our government turns around and gives them that money, and then they go take a loan out and give them more money, and they lose all that money that should go to us, to their kids in that situation.
We're just the obedient, partner in this relationship who's yes, whatever you say. Just we need more money from us, take it. Sit here all day and talk about it, but
And then on a lighter note, we talked about Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin last week. Well, he's in the news again. He endorsed Biden this week.
Who?
Putin.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Of course.
Could be reverse psychology. Could be. He said he was easier to work with because he knows what he's going to do. That was his quote. Something along those lines. He said.
Yeah, of course.
But that's the news with Jared.
Thanks for the lighthearted transition there.
Yeah.
That what made me laugh. Though.
It kind of is funny.
Yeah, and so like when you hear,
that's why I finished with that.
Yeah, well, when you hear all this, it just makes you go like, "What are we doing?"
It's a clown world.
It is.
We're just living in it.
What are we
putting on the makeup like that meme?
What's going on? And it's really hard when you're a person of faith or a person who his ideology is not of what they say now the norm is in society.
You're an independent thinker.
You're a family man. You work hard for your family, like just a family person in general. Mm-hmm. You are working hard to survive and thrive. These people are so out of touch with you and out of us, and they think that they know what's best for us, but they're not doing what we're going through the day to day that we have to go through. And that's the frustrating part. But the other part, that's why they're so disconnected from us, I think, a lot, is that they're also not people of faith.
Yeah.
And we are people of faith. And a lot of people like y'all out there are people of faith. And when you have faith, you trust in a lot of ways that, like, oh, it's all going to take care of itself. But you also trust in yourself. Like, no, I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to do what's best for our situations because of the faith I have. And sometimes, like God talks about in the Bible a lot, that you can't just sit around and wait for things to happen.
Yeah,
you can't
pray for a hole and then not pick up a shovel.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have some sort of action. Like when he gave the talents to the three men, like the one who didn't do anything with it. Like he didn't do what God told him to do.
Yep.
And it's like why would we do that with this faith we have? So keeping the faith is huge in ways that you're doing God's work by continuing on his message, being a family person, being a person in the community, and being a person who has principles.
Yeah, we always talk about personal excellence.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be able to change all this, like some of the stuff we mentioned here. That's why people say thoughts and prayers and stuff. You can only do what you can do where you're at. Mm-hmm. And you can't change the world in one snap.
One TikTok video.
Yeah, one TikTok video. Or,
even though we try.
Or one tweet or one Facebook post, But you can change your world. Mm-hmm. And do the best you can, and like we've been talking about, keep the faith.
Yeah.
No matter what happens in your life or in the crazy things that happen in our world.
Because this world, at the end of the day, what this world is short.
Yeah.
It's such a minuscule thing.
We're just a stepping stone to where we really are trying to get to.
Or we're meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's why keeping the faith is all about understanding that. Mm-hmm. Because when you understand that, it does make, with all this craziness going on, it makes it more digestible.
Yep.
But also knowing that you are on the winning team.
Yeah. I want to get into my verse.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So most people know the story of Job, right?
Job.
From the Bible.
Job.
I mean Job.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Job.
Jokey joke. People are out there. He doesn't know the name.
He misread Job.
It's Job. I get it. But he pretty much lost everything. The devil came to God and was like, hey, Job is only loyal to you because he's got everything. And so then they take everything from him, and Job remains loyal to God. And so here's a verse from chapter 1. He says, I came naked from my mother's womb, and I will be naked when I leave. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken it away. Praise the name of the Lord. In all of this, Job did not sin by blaming God. All that happened.
Job kept the faith.
He kept the faith.
And that's all it is. At the end of the day, he knew it wasn't God's fault because all this stuff's of earth.
Yeah. These things are just temporary.
It's so temporary. This life is temporary.
Yeah.
Like if you really think about it, it's like if we were taking, it's like when you hear the stories of people who've lost limbs, sight, or something like that, or been burned really bad, and you're like, how do those people get through?
Yeah.
It's like because they kept the faith.
Yeah.
Like, when some of the happiest people in the world are people who have some sort of disability
through something.
Who've went through something. A lot of these people who've lost every dollar they have. If you talk to them though, usually they're happiest when they don't have any of the dollars with them, which is crazy.
It's true,
right?
It's because that's not the stuff that matters.
When you know
faith,
that,
the God, family, country that we talk about all the time. That's what really matters.
Yeah, we're having faith, having people you love, and you can share that faith with, and having a place, a community, a country that you can do that all in, that should be the goal, #goals of what everyone wants. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it all starts with you. I guess like you were saying a while ago, it starts with you, and you can affect only a minuscule portion of everything in the world. But your little thing that you do could be that raindrop that hits the water and ripples out for eternity and affects this world. And was Gandhi even said it. You want to see change, be the change you want to see in the world. You know,
exactly.
And that's all we can really do. So that's why people probably think like, wow, we're crazy with our content now. Like, oh, y'all have like really flipped the switch. It's like, no, we decided we were given this platform, we want to do good with it. Yeah. And if we don't, we're not doing what the thing that God gave us.
God didn't give us a platform to keep doing dancing videos and catching bottles with my butt, you know.
or also or just like even videos like making like doing stuff about farming in general too. It's like that's not, he gave us that to get there, but we understand the mission at hand. He's like, okay, I gave you this. Now you need to stand up for and talk for the people who are misrepresented. Mm-hmm. So that's how we feel about what we're doing. It's like we're not even talking for ourselves, because we feel like we relate to a lot of y'all. Yeah, like you are us, we are you, and that's why we feel so powerful and we feel like our faith is so strong. We're able to keep it because we are doing the work that we were meant to do because of what God gave us, and it's because we've kept the faith through all this. We easily could have went astray, and all this. There's a lot of money. People do not realize the amount of money that you can sell your soul for. Yeah. And to be living a very happy, nice life.
I saw somebody say that on X the other day. They said, like, they were calling somebody else out who was like a smaller artist or something, and they're like, well, they have more money than you. They have more records than you, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but I have my family. You know, that's what their response was. I was like, and I commented on there. I said, yeah, the devil will pay you a lot of money. Like, you can get a big paycheck from him to do what you want. But like we've said, that's only temporary.
It's so temporary. And don't fall for it. At the end of the day, Job didn't fall for it. We're not going to fall for it. We're going to keep the faith. And hopefully America can keep the faith here. Yeah. You know, we're in that time. We're being tested right now by the devil. Big time.
I'm going to get into our emails.
We got to
Remember, email us at sundaynightcombos@gmail.com. So, just got 2 this week. So, we'll make it pretty short. The first one, it's kind of sad, honestly, personally. But a lady, she emailed us and said that her daughter was raised Christian, married into a Christian family, and then with all the wokeness, this is what she said, wokeness that's in this world, she divorced her husband, became lesbian, and has quit talking to her family. She's blocked them all off.
That's tough.
That tells you, I mean, the other side is strong.
Yeah, the devil, like that girl was tested by the devil.
Yeah, she grew up, she has those roots, and like we were talking about before this, is she could still come back.
Yeah, she still could come back, and that's the beautiful part about all this. Like, we all are redeemable, no matter how bad we've gone. Yeah, everybody. There's some great stories of redemption out there from some of the worst possible human beings.
There's a bunch of them in this book.
There's a bunch in that book for reference, but she's still redeemable because of the fundamentals and the foundation she has there.
At least she's lucky to have that.
And she has people. It sounds like she has people praying for her. So if y'all would take time to pray for this young lady, we're not going to mention names. We're not going to mention anything, but pray for her. Pray for her family, her mom that sent us that email. We're thinking of y'all and praying for you because there is power in prayer too. I do not deny that. And that's the beauty of like growing up in a small town, is like when you see a bunch of people praying for one thing.
Yeah, who's on the prayer list this week.
Yeah, it works. It works. That's the best medicine right there. We'll be thinking of you and praying for your family.
Okay, so our second one we have here was from somebody who'd emailed us before, and it's like relating back to the Tucker and Putin interview. Uh-huh. And she's been to Ukraine, and I think she's over there now. And she just wants people to be, like, you might watch that interview, and she thinks that everybody should see both sides of the story. And I think that's good.
I think you should be able to.
Whether you agree
every angle of everything. Yeah,
and then make your own decision.
Yeah, come to your own conclusions, as we always talk about.
I think that's important.
Just like reading the Bible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great messages in there, but a lot of it's up to you to understanding that, not someone telling you how to.
Yeah, get it from a third-hand source.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm still doing good. I'm on like 47, 48 days in right now.
Oh boy, keep it up.
I've missed a few days, but I make up for it.
You have to.
I haven't been every day.
It's like working out.
Yeah, but I've been making up for it. Been working out my spiritual muscles right here.
There we go, baby. I love it. I love it, man. Well, hey, that was a good one this week. Thanks for bringing up Job. Yeah. Job's a great story. If a lot of you haven't read Job in a while, go back and read him right now. It's a great story for what we're going through right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we hope you guys have a great week.
God bless y'all.